The USL League One is presented by Pedicare, Children's Clinic and Urgent Care. Things are heating up at Capital's Athletic Complex with Corpus Christi FC entered tonight on a 3-game winning run, while AV Alta arrive 8 straight unbeaten, including 3 wins of their own. Corpus Christi and AV Alta in a midweek match of the USL League One on ESPN+. Hello and welcome, I'm Ryan Lee. Thank you for joining us. As League One closes in on the halfway mark, the table takes its shape. AV Alta are in 4th, and a win could pull them level in 3rd with Charlotte. But they're not in the clear yet, only 3 points clear of 8th place Spokane. And with only 8 points separating 8th and 1st, anything could happen. Corpus Christi, on the other end, continue their in-season turnaround, entering with a 3-way tie with Portland and Westchester going into today. But by the end of the night, they could be 1 game away from the top 8. And for the Sharks, they continue to threaten every opponent they face. Ever since their first win of the year against Portland Hearts of Pine, they continue to find a way. An endgame thriller against Portland, shutting out Richmond, and overwhelming Sarasota, making up their last 3 outings. Head coach Ayman Zayed summed it up simply: a win can wipe out a lot of issues, but the organic confidence and belief can go a long way into molding the group into the team I want them to be. And a major part of that growing confidence for Corpus Christi has been the emergence of their attack after a very sluggish start. Nacho Abiel has been one of the key pieces for Corpus Christi. The rookie out of UNC has done everything that's been asked of him. He had 2 assists last time out against Sarasota, which currently puts him 1 shy of the lead in the Golden Playmaker race. And for Corpus Christi, they'll have to look out for an AV Alta side, who are one of the top teams in all of USL League One. An 8-match unbeaten run, currently second only to Fort Wayne's active run of 10. During this stretch, Alta have averaged 2 goals per match, while averaging just over a half a goal allowed. Head coach Brian Claben emphasized the details, especially on the defensive end. Despite rotating goalkeepers and battling injuries, they continue to approach every game like a final, leaning into their strengths, identity, and style. And for AV Alta, they have been the league's youngest team since they came in 2025, and do so again. With development being a big part of the puzzle for AV Alta, Cesar Bahena, the 22-year-old from the University of San Diego, had a slow start to the season. But with 2 goals in the last 3 games, he's finally found his stride, including an 87th minute gate winner against Greenville Triumph, extending their unbeaten run to 8. Corpus Christi aim for their 4th straight win to continue their in-season turnaround, while AV Alta have a chance at club history if they stretch their run to 9. Lineups and kickoff are next.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures. Listen to Mom.
I love that they always have openings. They're always, available. You can come in usually the same day, so I'm glad that they have that. And like I said, the location's great, so it's convenient. I like that.
Open till 9 p.m. weekdays and 7 p.m. weekends. We are a pediatric primary care and urgent care facility for children. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures.
Corpus Christi has brought professional soccer to the Coastal Bend. A team you can be proud of, rally around, and celebrate with. Come see the goal celebrations, the passion, and the high intensity.
Line out front, hammered from the spot, and the save again by Talbot. Strikes, what a goal!
For 18 high-energy home matches, come show the nation Corpus Christi has the best fans. Tickets are on sale now for every match at corpuscfc.com.
The USL League One on ESPN Plus is presented by Pedicare, Children's Clinic and Urgent Care. We come to Corpus Christi, Texas, where Corpus Christi FC ride a 3-game winning run while AV Alta are unbeaten in their last 8. We start things off with the Sharks, who have made no changes since their last win versus Sarasota, and when you put up 4 on the Paradise, I don't see why not. James Talbot's back in goal for his 200th match professionally since he debuted back in 2019. Enoch Kwakwa had himself a 2-goal outing. Today is game number 50 in the League One regular season, and Jake Keegan is the lone forward in the 4-2-3-1, securing a brace last time out against the Paradise. As for AV Alta, a trio of changes since the last match against Greenville. Smith is back in goal. He has only 1 start since May 30th in a 0-0 draw against Fort Wayne. The 5 backs is one of the big changes for Brian Claiborne. Relaford is in his 8th start in 11 appearances for the Cal State Fullerton rookie, and Colin Anderson is also in for the lone forward. He has 2 goals in his last 3. A lot of intrigue in Corpus Christi as there are a whole lot of high stakes coming to Cabinets Athletic Complex in the heart of Texas. Corpus Christi FC riding a 3-game winning run ever since their first win against Portland Hearts of Pine a couple of weeks back, and they haven't looked back since. As for AV Alta, a very similar spot, another lengthy unbeaten run in the midseason. They have a chance to tie their franchise record, 9 straight unbeaten if they get points tonight, but they are 3 points away from tying Charlotte Independence in the top 3 of the League One table. Corpus Christi start off left to right while going right to left in the all-white with the ball will be AV Alta, sent all the way down as we begin here in Cabinets Athletic Complex in Corpus Christi, Texas. 3 straight wins for the Sharks, 8 straight unbeaten for Alta. Both of whom not just coming off of wins, but 2 very different wins. AV Alta, a very dicey, down-to-the-wire match against Greenville Triumph at their new facility, GE Vernova Park, where they had to have 2 goals in the second half in order to come back and secure that win by a 2-1 final when that was all said and done. Especially in a run that has continued to go in AV Alta's favor. They haven't had a loss in regular season play since April the 7th in a 3-1 road game in Spokane. And ever since they came back, they had a 2-2 draw against the 2026 newcomers, AC Boise. And they just continue to find a way to get things done since. The first ever meeting between the 2025 and 2026 expansion sides. And at the very least, all things have looked promising for AV Alta early on, despite a really tumultuous beginning of the year, something both teams have dealt with. Also started off the year with 5 straight without a win, including a first-round exit in the U.S. Open Cup, which really maybe hampered expectations for the season, but they've been able to find a way to rebound ever since. They did get those 3 points with the opening 5 games, so there's at least something to cling on to. The fact it was so early on the season meant they could do adjustments on the fly. Almesh down the line. Desdoon cuts back. Desdoon to the middle, took a ricochet, and it bounces towards Talbot as Almesh couldn't get all of it. Some of the top players for AV Alta trying to put their early stamp on this game. Almesh on the outside to Desdoon, looking to return to Almesh in the middle, but he had Jack Keeney tangled up within that 6-yard box. And already back towards AV Alta, high possession rate. One of the top possession teams in all of USL League One. Their 57.5% possession is second in all USL League One, only trailing Union Omaha, who are currently at the top of the table. A place where AV Alta have aspirations going into today's match. They only sit 5 points away from first place for Union Omaha, who have been on a bit of a slide. They're 3 games in a row having lost our Omaha, so there is opportunity for AV Alta. A win today would tie them in the top 3 with the Charlotte Independence. Alta do regain control. As they continue to cycle the ball around. Christian Ortiz along the outside to Adam Almesh. Turned over, Keegan to the outside for Abial. Abial cuts back in, but a whole swarm of white to block it off. Possibly one of the change-ups for Brian Claben going into this match. He goes from a 5 midfielder look against Greenville Triumph. In today's match, he goes with a 5 back look. And that was one of the big things in AV Alta's turnaround that Brian Claben has made note of previously, of how they really wanted to emphasize things on the defensive end. They really want to make sure their identity and their style aligns with what some of the top clubs around the world do, considering he has that international background. And so far, it can take a while for young players to adapt into it, and they have been able to find a way. Almesh keeps it moving. Des Dune on the outside. However, seemingly very interesting discussion along the sideline regarding the possession of the throw-in. But one thing that could take its shape throughout this match as we do have the resumption of play after the Christian Ortiz throw-in. Back to Almesh, headed away. Keeney got in the way. On the far end goes Bahena. Picked off by Corpus Christi. Keegan dislodged for Bahena, who takes a try from range and just misses. You have to appreciate the confidence of a guy like Cesar Bahena, the rookie from the University of San Diego. Been on a bit of a heater as of late. Gives this one a nice crack from about 35 yards out. And if you see the flags or even the players' jerseys, there is a whipping wind. It's going to vary between 12 to 15 miles per hour, all going from this perspective right to left. So it will be in AV Alta's favor, and Corpus Christi will have to fight it for this first half before they eventually switch sides. And that could be something we could see take its place as this match rolls on, whether if it's any long balls or high arcers from Corpus Christi, maybe losing its momentum midair, or maybe even overcooking tries the other way for AV Alta in this first half. Leading the way for Bowen was Keegan. Bowen hustles back, taken down, and will win a foul. Our officiating crew for this match: Elton Garcia leading the way in red, Jennifer Garner, Tiffany Turpin, and Jacobo Zuninga is the remainder of our crew.
Jerry, you're in the wall! Jerry, wall! Call it wall! Jerry, be alert! Be alert! Nick, wake up!
And we'll have to see maybe how some of the set pieces change with the wind. But it's sent deep. Bowen, it curls back, allows Smith to get out. Still alive for Corpus. Around, Roscoe cuts it down. Keegan denied by Smith. The rebound is loose and is caught by Smith. Going quick the other way, trying to use the wind aid to his advantage, but Des Dune couldn't get there in time. And that will force a stoppage going AV Alta's direction. A very strong 6-2 and 5 start for AV Alta, and a lot of it has been their adjustments on defense. Even though you had Roscoe loose and Keegan inside of the penalty area, they did not bite, and they did not bend in any of those processes, especially with maybe a counter punch here from Corpus Christi, well outside of the radius of Abel. Klaben giving a lot of credit to his assistant coaches, especially on the defensive end. It was one of their big points of emphasis throughout that string. Right around April to May is when they started to change things up. And that's despite having a whole bunch of circumstances go against them, whether if it's cycling injuries throughout the team, getting called up from the academy to take their place, even having used both goalkeepers in various ways between Denzel Smith and Jabril Doumbia, who took an injury last time out against Greenville. It's not the first time this season that they've changed goalies mid-game. But no matter what gets thrown at AV Alta, they have figured out ways to do so, especially because they are the youngest group in USL League One. Not only have they finally gotten adapted and used to Brian Klaben's system, but also how to work with the various circumstances. As poked ahead, and that goes end-to-end towards Talbot. Feeling under the weather? Pedicure is Corpus Christi's trusted home for pediatric and urgent care. Visit Pedicure at Yorktown and Cimarron Boulevard. James Talbot probably lost about a dozen yards on that last clearance, as AV Alta keep trying their attempts from way downtown. Abeal cuts it down, swung out by Kwakwa. Ortiz corrals it, fought off. Medina wanting to lead the way for Keegan, and Medina might have won a foul. A scalding 87-degree day at kickoff, despite the effect of the wind. Especially for a Corpus Christi side that have really found their stride over the last couple of matches. Jake Keegan had a goal in the 25th minute to open up the scoring against Sarasota, the first time all year that they scored in the first half an hour. And they might have a chance to have a dangerous free kick, as it's powered by Driscoll Children's Hospital. Together we heal. Bowen and Dietrich. Dietrich short on the return feed. Back and forth with Enoch Kwakwa, lifting it to the 18. Can't penetrate through, as Desdunes reverses for Alta. Wanting to lead it, couldn't link up with Anderson. Corpus Christi, a team not shy to go deep, especially because of their speed and athleticism as a unit. A team that is still trying to get out of the bottom half of the offensive rankings, but at the very least, amongst their last 3 games, they have scored 8 goals within that stretch. And just being able to find it, especially in late game scenarios, one of the places where they excel is closing out games, finding those points towards the end of the game. And that was a point of contention for Ayman Zayed's squad, not wanting to be in those chasing scenarios. Seha, the last man back, cycled towards Ortiz, but lost it in the process. Shannon Gomez. Does maintain possession for Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi's side not just really hammering in on Sarasota, but they really had a point to make, especially because of how tough things were to a 4-1 win against the Paradise. Last time it was Dietrich, this time it's Bowen. Long ball, headed back in the middle. Keeney, the return, gets around. Keeney across, the ricochet is still loose, can't get it. Roscoe cooks it over. The Sharks are on the hunt, but they haven't been able to get it through as Alta, the wall of white, stands tall. Just back around, using both center backs between Keeney and Roscoe. Keeney, a good job to get around Seha and keep it in play, but a little too much of a logjam in front. And you also have the presence of Jimmy Villalobos, the Alta captain, maybe affecting things for Roscoe. Only one goal on the year for Roscoe, that came on a header, which was the game-winning goal against Portland in the 98th minute, giving the Sharks their first win over the Hearts. Sliding through, wanting to link up, but it's gonna be Talbot, the aggressor. It doesn't matter whose colors you're wearing at Bellevue University. Your success is the only thing that matters. That's why they offer education that's designed to help you. To help you achieve your next goal. Find out more at degrees.bellevue.edu/goals. Quarter hour in, nothing on the board except for 3 total shot attempts, 2 for Alta, 1 for Corpus Christi. But you do have a shot on target apiece in this early going of the match. Corpus Christi offense, that's very middle of the pack so far. Abeal takes on his man from behind. Appears to be Adam Almesh who ate the contact from Abeal. Seemingly a warning before any potential cards could be displayed. To Corpus Christi's side, that have been one of the more aggressive teams in USL League One. Very reminiscent of what Eamon Zayed was, both as a player and as a coach. And the contact from behind on Almesh will draw the dead ball. Colin Anderson circles back. Almesh dislodged. Langlois got it free. Centering ball, Dietrich lost his footing and recovered by Villalobos. A lot of milestones in today's game. Enoch Kwakwa in this 50th match in USL League One. Jimmy Villalobos is 1 away from 150. He got 149 today. And even the Corpus Christi keeper, James Talbot, today's game 200 for him. So a very monumental day for both these sides. The first time these two will meet of their 2 matches. The next time they'll meet is actually going to be on the final game of the season on decision day on October 24th, and they'll be back at the hangar. Alfredo Ortiz has Pelivanov. Too high for Anderson. Stuck in the legs of Bahena, but a foul. Not a rare occurrence, but a slightly less frequent occurrence to see Alta get the whistle against them. it most certainly can be a lot easier to reduce the number of fouls you take and not have to be the aggressors when you're holding on to the ball so often. And once again, you also have that extra added layer of that AV Alta direction that they're going in, the right to left, how they have the wind to their backs. Those shots are going to go a little bit deeper. They're going to fly a little bit farther. They don't have to put as much on it in order to get to the right place. And then Corpus Christi, the exact inverse. They're going to have to put a little extra meat on the ball to really force things, especially down the field. Something Corpus Christi love to do is push the ball deep. Not going to expect a guy to carry it all the way through. It's going to be a lot of passing. But for Corpus Christi, a little more in the intermediate deep routes. As Bowen tightropes the end line. Gomez, edge of the box. Keegan leaves it. Amiel! He just misses. A golden opportunity for what would have been the earliest first goal of the season for Corpus Christi had that been converted. What teamwork here from Bowen and Gomez to keep it in play. Keegan almost had a swipe in Abeal. He had space. He just pushes it a little too far to his left. But that's easily the best chance of the game so far for either side. But you have Adam Almesh to the outside. Cycling back in before he's met by Kwakwa. Medina. Still on a double team. Corpus Christi on their 3-game winning run, having beaten Portland, Richmond, and Sarasota, the first of the 2026 expansion sides to win 3 straight. Especially when you have new opportunities for USL League One in pretty much about 6 months to a year from now, when they had that announcement at the beginning of June. There are 5 clubs in the 2027 sanctioning application. They're 1 with Dallas in the USL Championship, and there are 4 in USL League One with the 2 Florida teams, Port St. Lucie and Fort Lauderdale. You have Thousand Oaks, California, so another SoCal opponent for AV Alta. And then Sporting Cascades in Eugene, who already made their first big move by bringing in Darren Sawatsky, a longtime opponent of Ayman Zayed in the head coaching ranks. As some contact already getting a little bit chippy for 2 teams who have no history amongst each other. This is the first time these 2 will play of their 2 matches against each other. And 2 of the offensive powerhouses on the respective teams getting involved between Bowen and Bahena. Don't miss a second of the action. Skip the lines and order your favorites right from your seat. Scan the QR code on the video board to browse and order from sportscertified.com, powered by iHerb. Packed with cleaner ingredients and made for game day. Bahena escapes pressure via Lobo's outlets. Desdoom glides back. Have one of the youngest teams in the league, in the AV Alta. Development is a huge part of what allows your team to grow. Brian Claiborne just really happy with the fact that his team is at the very least moving in the right direction in this part of the season, especially considering where they started. A lot of that very organic, a lot of that with maturity and development from a lot of their young guys, especially the ones who have really taken big leaps within that. At least within this current starting 11, you have a guy like Adam Almesh, who got a career high in goals. Des Dune already well on pace to break his career highs from a year ago. About 34 yards out for Jerry Des Dune. Goes low, off the wall. Medina with the roadblock. Medina slithering through, eats contact, and this should be a yellow card to AV Alta. Boo Boo Medina, right after taking the block off the wall, he had all sorts of contact. It was hard to see if that was Alfredo Ortiz or maybe the hand scrapping with Jimmy Villalobos, but regardless, AV Alta will get the first booking of the match. An AV Alta side who have been one of the more disciplined teams in USL League One, but that's in large part because they're not chasing very often. They're often the ones getting the ball chased up against him. That was Relaford who goes into the book. The second fewest yellow cards in the league are AV Alta. Headed back into the mix, slapped away by Almesh. Wakwa. Allows Corpus Christi to hustle back. Bowen on the outside. Trying to get around as Relaford just took the contact on Medina. That time he eats it on Bowen. This was that last sequence. Bowen again on Medina, but Bowen again on Bahena, but that time it was Relaford on the follow-up, which got Bowen down to ground. And that's going to be a tough task for one of the many rookies on this team. You have at least 3 USL League One rookies on this starting 11 for Brian Klaben, all coming within the NCAA ranks. Cesar Bahena, first year from University of San Diego. Alfredo Ortiz, first year from Cal. And Nick Relaford being the other one, the first year from Cal State Fullerton. Des Dune along the outside for Almesh. Keeps it in, across. It did take some contact, but not enough for Anderson to get it to goal. Still zeros on the board in the 27th minute between Corpus Christi FC and AV Alta. Part of a 3-game midweek slate in USL League One. You do have that one USL Cup game also, but that's a whole different set of standings. Line drive, captain for Abeal. Abeal's cross off of Ortiz, and this should draw a corner. This was that last opportunity, the line drive from Medina towards Abeal, and at that point just trying to get anything in the mix. Corners are a place where Corpus Christi can excel, especially in the clutch, as this corner is brought to you by Corpus Christi Athletic Club. Live happy. 2 corner kick goals to beat Portland, and the lone goal to beat Richmond. They take their first corner of the night. Swung in, had it out. Still loose, Kwakwa for Dietrich. They play catch on the near side. Cycle around towards Gomez. Slants it outside, Keeney. Still jostling with Bahena. Before it's eventually cleared. And now we have a whistle on the other end of the field. Trying to double check if maybe there was some contact within that mix, maybe enough for a yellow card perhaps. Keegan trying to get an explanation from our head official, Elton Garcia. So Jake Keegan will take the first yellow card for Corpus Christi. We have the team that takes the second fewest yellows amongst the league and the team that has the most amongst all of them. Also keep in mind that Corpus Christi, especially in that beginning portion of the season, they were chasing a lot of games. Of their opening 13 matches, they've allowed the first goal in 8 of them. So you kind of understand a lot of the circumstances that the Sharks have had to deal with all season long, trying to catch games from behind, chase after them, make up for lost ground, leading to maybe a little bit of undisciplined play at times. As we are in the first half an hour of play. Corpus Christi in the number 14 slot in the League One table. Coming off their first 3 wins as a franchise since joining League One. Bowen cuts back, tried to clip it off Des Dune to change possession, but it's back for Alta. Who currently sit in the number 4 slot. A win could put them in a top 3 tie with Charlotte. Villalobos continues the cycle. Des Dune leading the charge. Almesh on the outside to center before Enoch Kwakwa cuts it off. Abeal couldn't keep it. Almesh on the outside. Villalobos up top. Ortiz. A bit of an overplay, and that goes back to Corpus Christi. Don't miss a moment of the inaugural season in Corpus Christi. Tickets are on sale now for all Corpus Christi FC matches. Get yours today at corpuscfc.com or by calling 361-225-3316. And as this is the first stoppage after the half an hour mark, we will hit our 1 of 2 hydration breaks. Don't worry, we won't be going anywhere. We will be here the entire time in a Corpus Christi day. Absolutely scalding in Texas, 87 degrees at the time of kickoff. You do have that steady wind going about 13 miles per hour in AV Alta's favor. Have this Corpus Christi match, especially off the heels of not only their largest win since they joined League One, but also having done so at home, where they have had such a long string of games at home, especially because they started all their games on the road. So the first 5 games on the road, and since then in regular season play, they've been home in 7 of the last 9. This is the last one of that stretch before they go on the road to Charlotte to begin the month of July. And Eamon Zayad very much trying to communicate some things to his team, just trying to make sure that they can bring that confidence, that belief and energy over the last couple of wins into not only the training but into the game, and not getting too carried away with it. For Brian Claben, it's all been steps within the ladder. How do you grow one day, 1% at a time, and continue to find small incremental ways to improve and develop from within? Especially because that is what Brian Claben has been wanting to do, to really emphasize the identity of what other teams around the world can do, and even breaking into a very congested Southern California market in the realm of soccer. And they might have more competition on the way. As we mentioned, Thousand Oaks will get a team in 2027. But they are, at the very least, in a solid position early on, scoreless in the first half an hour, especially after the circumstances of the Greenville game where they had to change keepers on the fly. Jabril Doumbia had a relative arm area injury in the 17th minute after a bit of contact on a net drive by Greenville. And while they did trail the Triumph at halftime, they did eventually get 2 goals towards the end of that game in the final 18 minutes to steal the 3 points on the road against the Triumph, to extend their unbeaten run to 8. If they can get points today, they would tie their franchise record from a year ago that had 9 unbeaten, but also 2 very different unbeaten runs. The 9-game run last year, had only 5 wins within that. So a lot of that was kind of survival by tie, versus this one just dominant 6-0-2 in their 8. Centering feed, Bowen gets in front and just misses. 2 great chances for Corpus Christi, both of them just off by a smidge. But way to see Corpus Christi continuing to attack. Abeal in the middle, and that is a nice move to sidestep on Blake Bowen to get through his defender. Abeal had 2 to get around, and Bowen got on the left side of Relaford to start the run and shifted over to get on the inside to get in position to tap that. Just missed the net of Denzel Smith. And in Smith's first start since May 30th, where not only he got a clean sheet against Fort Wayne, was a part of that team of the week at the time. He hasn't really had a lot to do since, coming off the bench last time for those final 73 minutes against Greenville. But aside from that, he hasn't had a lot of action throughout the entire month of June. Another free kick is coming up for Corpus Christi, powered by Driscoll Children's Hospital. Together we heal. The usual suspects, Bowen and Dietrich. Low service, back to Abeal. Sidesteps from pressure, gives it a go, but it'll be easily held on by Smith. Ten minutes remain in the opening half, still scoreless between Alta and Corpus Christi. Only a pair of yellow cards to speak of, and 5 total shot attempts, and 2 shots on target, evenly split. However, these are 2 teams that have had a lot of their success in endgame scenarios. They might get a little slow at times getting out the gate. And this isn't the first time this half there's been commotion relating to a throw-in possession. But it's tossed in for Corpus Christi. Langlois across, headed out. Eric Seha got on the end of that one, and that time it was Roscoe the other way. Gomez circles back. Return from Roscoe. Bowen tries to get it on Relaford. He wins it back. Villalobos across for Amish. And AV Alta will settle things down. Bahena got it to the outside. Adam Almesh back to the middle. Says a Bahena. Gives it off. Desdoon back for Bahena. In front, stopped by Talbot. The rebound comes across goal. Anderson still in play. Desdoon up top. He chips it to the hands of Talbot. A great offensive sequence, all led by Desdoon and Bahena. The quick give and go. Talbot held strong, and it looked like Bahena might be trying to get it back to Anderson for a back post, but maybe a little too far for Anderson's frame. And already back for AV Alta, as Seha directing traffic to recycle. When you feel hunger strike, there's only one cure, and that's to eat more chicken. Visit one of 9 Chick-fil-A locations throughout the Coastal Bend today to try the latest menu item, the Jalapeno Ranch Club. Download the Chick-fil-A app and start earning rewards with every purchase. AV Alta looking to match the 9-game unbeaten run they had in 2025. Anderson all the way. Back for Ortiz. Quick touches across for Villalobos. Feed blocked off by Roscoe. Villalobos settles. Desdoon chopped down, free kick, AV Alta. A lot of big points up for grabs in the final 5 minutes of the first half, considering that the bottom end of the playoff line in 8th place, currently occupied by Spokane, and the top of the table in Union Omaha are only separated by 8 points. AV Alta squarely in 4th at the moment. Corpus Christi, if they can somehow get a win today, they could be 1 game within the top 8. Short service, Ortiz. That was blocked by Keeney. Dietrich reclaims it, and Talbot sends it down. Alta looking to make the most of a lengthy road run. Second of 3 games on the road, just having their 2-1 win last time out against Greenville Triumph. They come here to Corpus Christi, and then they make their way to Omaha. However, that's a week ago from today, so they'll at least have a chance to recoup back in Lancaster. Do play Union Omaha on the 1st. Could be some major implications considering they're 4 points separated, at least today. Almesh from deep, blocked by Kwakwa, chased down by Relaford. Corpus Christi side, they're very familiar playing away from the ball. one of the lowest possession teams in USL League One. They're under 44%, which is bottom 3 in the league. Sam Roscoe got some major contact on Colin Anderson. Enter the Prince Tires USL Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack with up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on the screen and enter today. The final round of the Prince Tires USL Cup for these two will be on July 11th. Corpus Christi will have a rematch against One Knoxville on this very pitch where Knoxville stole a draw from them a couple of weeks back, 2-2, which actually helped become a part of a run for Corpus Christi where they had 5 unbeaten in a 6-game stretch. That 2-all draw against Knoxville was part of it. A draw that Aiden Zayed categorized felt like a loss because of how they gave up that last goal in stoppage time through the hands of the keeper on a corner. But they do have 2 matches in regular season play before they get back to Prince Tires USL Cup play. Our Corpus Christi a week from today against Charlotte before they have another home date against the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Aiden Zayed's former squad as a player. 3 extra minutes on the board in the first half. 0s on the scoreboard, and no one able to claim it cleanly. Kwakwa with room. Gomez pushes up. Kwakwa with Bowen. Bowen outside towards Gomez, took a clip out of play, a second Corpus Christi corner. A lot has been made by coaches around the league about this pitch. The unconventional sizing, how it's one of the smaller pitches in the league. One of the reasons why Corpus Christi are unbeaten at 5-6 of home. Bowen inward. Medina heads it down, pushed out by Smith. Back-to-back corners for Corpus Christi. This is a great try from Corpus Christi. Medina gets on the end of it, and it forces Smith into the top corner. As we have another one halfway through stoppage. This time it's Dietrich. Smith met it, gets it out for Kwakwa. Gomez back in the mix, too high for anyone in blue to receive. And Bahena was unable to keep it in bounds. Zayed saying that the last couple of games or maybe some less than stellar speeches at halftime, considering that they just felt like they left a little bit of something on the table in both their game against Richmond and the last time out against Sarasota. And now even though they were up 2-0 against the Paradise, some of the effort and some of the grimy areas of the field, maybe not necessarily there, and they want to really get off of the jump early. Although there's not a goal, they have generated 4 corners to this point. And they are out shooting AV Alta as well. Another corner kick brought to you by Corpus Christi Athletic Club. Live happy. Bowen, slapped out by Smith, still loose. Dietrich chips it again, still there. A volley's not able to get through. Abiel the rebound, that goes over, and that's gonna be the end of the first half. A back and forth first half and a nail-biting finish to the first 45. As we take a final look at that last corner opportunity, Bowen was looking for Medina, but the reversal for Keegan off of Dietrich just hit a wall, and then Abeal gets it up and over. A tumultuous first half, especially for Denzel Smith and AV Alta, but they have survived scoreless at the halftime break. Although things might look lopsided, this game has been deadlocked through 45 minutes. Still scoreless between Corpus Christi and AV Alta. More from the USL and League One when we come back.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, creando futuros saludables. Nuestros pediatras certificados y el personal clínico brindan atención médica excepcional a los niños desde su nacimiento hasta la adolescencia, porque su salud es nuestra prioridad. Abierto hasta las 9 de la noche de lunes a viernes y hasta las 7 los fines de semana. Somos un centro pediátrico de atención primaria y de urgencias para niños. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, cuidando un futuro saludable.
Corpus Christi has brought professional soccer to the Coastal Bend. A team you can be proud of, rally around, and celebrate with. Come see the goal celebrations, the passion, and the high intensity.
Line out front, hammered from the spot, and the save again by Talbot. Strikes. What a goal!
For 18 high-energy home matches, come show the nation Corpus Christi has the best fans. Tickets are on sale now for every match at corpuscfc.com.
We return to Corpus Christi, where the Sharks and AV Alta are scoreless through 45 minutes of play, and there have been a whole lot of action in the first 45 minutes of this game, but we take a step back and zoom out throughout the entire world of football as we take a quick look at what's been happening in the World Cup's past.
In the middle of the 2026 World Cup, Carlos Lamosa is focused on something else. The head coach of San Antonio FC is navigating his club through the midway point of the USL Championship season. But nearly a quarter century ago, the World Cup was Lamosa's dream come true.
Well, that was a unique experience for many reasons. First, that was the first World Cup of the century. That was the first time the World Cup happens in 2 different countries. And that was the first time that happens in Asia.
The 2002 World Cup is to date the best performance by the U.S. men's national team. A stunning victory over Portugal in the group stage. A shutout of arch rival Mexico in the round of 16, with South Korea's 13-hour time difference to U.S. Eastern Time. Americans had to be creative for live overnight matches. Bars were open at 4 in the morning making breakfast for your matches. Were you aware of all of that at the time?
We found out being there in Korea. They show us videos of footage from TV networks, having a watching party 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Also for me, I have Colombian news going to my parents' house in Colombia in the middle of the night to do interviews when we were playing live.
In 2026, the World Cup includes more than 40 players whose careers were touched by different levels of USL. Lamosa now has a seat to watching players chase their own World Cup dreams.
Here from our academy from San Antonio, we have a player representing the U.S. on the U17 qualifier. That's a very important league in the U.S. soccer developmental program.
Spokane opens the scoring. Carmichael volleys, it scores! And it's 3-1 forward Madison.
Sometimes the waves are calling your name. Other times, you think the waves are calling your name, but actually, it's the kids.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Hay mucha fiesta, señor Martino. Hay sed de revancha, doctor. Pero falta gol y estamos a esperar a Hugo. ¿Hugo Sánchez? Sí, tira para adelante. ¿Quién maneja? ¿Un futbolista? ¡Llegamos por fin! ¡Ay, bendito sea el chapar, doctor! Hugo, ¿regreso a las canchas? ¿Algún consejo?
Sí, confía y cree en ti.
¡Ey! ¡Pasa al norte! A donde me dé la oportunidad, pero listo para dar el paso. ¡Listo, vámonos!
Pedicure Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, creando futuros saludables. Nuestros pediatras certificados y el personal clínico brindan atención médica excepcional a los niños desde su nacimiento hasta la adolescencia, porque su salud es nuestra prioridad. Abierto hasta las 9 de la noche de lunes a viernes y hasta las 7 los fines de semana. Somos un centro pediátrico de atención primaria y de urgencias para niños. Pedicure Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, cuidando un futuro saludable.
Returning to Corpus Christi, where Corpus Christi FC and AV Alta are scoreless through 45 minutes in this midweek match. But we take a look back at week 16 and we take a look at our team of the week. All leading off with two of Corpus Christi leading the way with Nacho Abayal and Jake Keegan. Abayal a pair of assists, Keegan a pair of goals. You also had Christian Ortiz in the mix as well after his game-tying goal against Greenville Triumph, putting him on a bit of a hot run with 2 goals in the last 3. You even have in the bench section as well, Enoch Kwakwa getting some recognition as a part of the team of the week as well with his goal, which was Corpus Christi's third in that 4-1 win to Sarasota. But of everyone in USL League One, Jonathan Jimenez really stole the show in week 16, getting a brace against Portland Hearts of Pine in Westchester's 5-1 win, but also a Westchester side that have really found something, especially on the offensive side of the ball, with 9 goals in their last 2 games, and Jimenez's brace against the Hearts amongst that. Well, even though that's a sign for Whataburger, even though it's scoreless, it has been quite a game as well, despite zeros on the board. We'll come back. Second half on the horizon when we come back. It is halftime in League One. We hope you're enjoying the match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at the headline. With first place Union Omaha hitting a rough patch, the top of the table is now crowded. One Knoxville defeated Spokane Velocity 3-0, extending its unbeaten run to 4 matches. Now, One Knox sits 1 point behind Omaha. Charlotte Independence and AV Alta also closing in on the top of the table.
Speaking of hot streaks, Fort Wayne FC unbeaten in its last 10 League One matches, the second longest streak by a first-year club, and Tig Healy has goals in 7 of those 10 matches, adding to his dream rookie season campaign. And we mentioned Charlotte's rise in the standings. One of the biggest reasons is the play of Luis Alvarez. Alvarez has goal contributions in 7 consecutive matches, 2 shy of the League One record. 2024 Young Player of the Year is the Golden Boot leader with 9 goals. Upcoming national spotlight games next Wednesday, Spokane and Forward Madison on CBS Sports Network. A night later, it's AC Boise and 1 Knox on ESPN2, and then a USL Cup group finale on the 11th, San Antonio hosting Chattanooga Red Wolves. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures. Listen to Mom.
I love that they always have openings. They're always, available. You can come in usually the same day. So I'm glad that they have that. And like I said, the location's great. So it's convenient. I like that.
Open till 9 p.m. weekdays and 7 p.m. weekends. We are a pediatric primary care and urgent care facility for children. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures.
Corpus Christi has brought professional soccer to the Coastal Bend. A team you can be proud of, rally around, and celebrate with. Come see the goal celebrations, the passion, and the high intensity.
Line out front, hammered from the spot, and the save again by Talbot. Strikes. What a goal!
For 18 high-energy home matches, come show the nation Corpus Christi has the best fans. Tickets are on sale now for every match at corpuscfc.com.
Back here at Cabinets Athletic Complex, Corpus Christi and AV Alta. Second half of action on the horizon. But before we get to the second half, let's rewind back to how things went in the first set of 45 between Corpus Christi and AV Alta for the first time ever. First one was a free kick opportunity, forcing Denzel Smith just at the edge of his area before a return service would go all the way around. Roscoe would slide it across, but Keegan unable to get the finish. Abayal down to ground before it bounced up on Denzel Smith. There was also one more dangerous opportunity, which is why Corpus Christi do have the current shots advantage despite possessing less than a third of the game so far. Those 4 corners have really been a lot of what Corpus Christi actually benefit from. Stop dead ball situations. and services from some of the guys who really do it well, like Bowen, like Abayal. Jackson Dietrich has been involved in that as well. But we get ready to flip ends of the pitch. It will be AV Alta in the second half. They will go left to right in the all white. In the all blue, right to left will be Corpus Christi. As we're back for the second half at Cabinets Athletic Complex in Corpus Christi, Texas. Zeros on the board through 45, but still plenty of opportunities for both teams to maybe get on the board. These are two teams who excel in late game scenarios. As Ryan Lee and the rest of our ESPN Plus crew, we thank you for joining us here in Texas. For Corpus Christi, this is a team where they have twice as many second half goals as they do first half goals. They've scored 11 of their 17 goals in the second half. Only 6 of them have been in the first half, and this is completely away from the play. Keeney went down to ground. This was all completely away from the play, by the way, as Keeney does stretch over. 27-year-old Irishman in his first year stateside, having spent every other year of his pro career, 7 seasons between 2028 to 2025, between the First Division of Ireland and Northern Ireland. Spending last year with Cliftonville in the top division of Northern Ireland. One of the 2 center-back stalwarts for Ayman Zayed, having started and played in 12 of 13 going into today. Desdune back for Ortiz. Villalobos to his right. Tune in to CBS-SN Wednesday, July 1st for a League One showdown. Spokane Velocity hope to speed past the formidable Flamingos of Ford Madison. 9 Eastern, catch all the action July 1st on CBS-SN. Cut off by Gomez. Anderson got it back. Despite getting tripped up, no whistle. That's something that Elton Garcia has done in this game, for the most part, is let things fly before that second one eventually gets called off. Deep ball, Bowen might have Relaford beat. Smith fumbles it, and it's a whistle against Corpus Christi. You had Bowen charging into the area on Relaford. You had Keegan barreling in on Smith. And this was that last deep ball. Bowen and Relaford getting in. And it looks like it might have been Relaford taking that contact on Smith. Smith was going for the ball. Relaford was in a battle with Bowen. And Relaford and Bowen have been all over each other all night. Relaford, the first-year player from Cal State Fullerton, actually a transfer where he spent the first year of his college tenure at College of the Desert, also in the California area, where he ended up being a 2025 second-team All-Big West, getting recognition in the SoCal area, the Palm Springs native, getting his first reps as a pro. Has started 8 of 11 in his first campaign and had some heavy contact as he just got bodied by Denzel Smith. And all indications point towards Brian Clavin maybe wanting to change some things up. No one did so coming out of the break. They already had a collision-based injury last time out against Greenville Triumph. They had to deal with the goalie substitution of Jabril Doumbia for Denzel Smith only 17 minutes into that Greenville game because of a very similar circumstance, just driving the net, contact with the keeper. Doumbia was sequentially subbed out, and at least per the body language and the hand motions of Brian Claben, could be a little similar story here. Brian Claben has also noted to us in the past that he will be more than willing to sub guys out, especially to reduce any future injury risk, and also could be a spot for the elder statesman of this team, Miguel Ibarra, to make his entry. So this is where most likely Brian Claben will make the first change of the match. It'll be Nick Relaford to exit after that heavy collision. Miguel Ibarra will take his place. And I'm sure Brian Claben pulled the trigger on that, likely much earlier than he intended to. I guess the one silver lining of that is Relaford was on a yellow card, so you at least reduce the risk of any send-offs in that department at least. But Miguel Ibarra, easily the most experienced player on this AV Alta lineup. 353 total matches as a pro at 36 years old. One of the original members of AV Alta, if you will, from that inaugural season last year. Watch the USL on ESPN2 Friday, July 2nd for a USL League One clash. Newcomers AC Boise look to defend home turf against the reigning champions 1 Knoxville. Thursday, July 2nd, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. What a week that's going to be for USL League One. A double dose of national television love between the first and the second on ESPN2 and CBS-SN. Some love for the newcomers, AC Boise, also the 2 finalists, Spokane and the eventual champs, Knoxville. Especially with the table implications as we're just about in the halfway portion of the season. For these two, they have 14 matches played, if you include today, of their 32. Stolen away, top of the area, Bowen just too high. Blake Bowen, he's been looking for something. He is still among some of the league leaders in not only assists, but he and Adam Almesh, one of the many trying to chase down Luis Alvarez of Charlotte Independence in the Golden Boot race, where it's essentially Alvarez and Connor McGlynn essentially pulling away from the group. As that will be a yellow card against Corpus Christi. That was Alfredo Ortiz and Enoch Kwakwa, it appears, will get the yellow card. Just a little bit of a fleck, and Alfredo Ortiz cuts it down. Kwakwa does get contact in there. So it will be Enoch Kwakwa going into the book. 6 times he's done so this year. As Alfredo Ortiz gets back on his feet. Prinks Tires is the official tire partner of the USL, built for practical performance and the long haul. Prinks delivers reliability for everyday drivers. Visit PrinksTireUSA.com to learn more. Keep in mind, it's Prinks Tires singular, not Prinks Tires plural. Cycle all the way back to Smith from Pelovanov. Stolen away, Bubu Medina tries to cross it well short of Abeal. Bahena off the gut. Full steam is Desdu. Anderson, back for Desdu. Fumbled it, Kwakwa clears. Anderson hustled back, but too aggressive. You have to wonder what the halftime discussion was for both teams, especially for Eamon Zayed the last several matches, whether they're up, whether they're down, or whether they're tied. There's always been an element of dissatisfaction right at the halftime break. You take the Richmond game, they're tied at 1-all, they're tied at 0-0, and they had a hunch that they had chances to bury. They had opportunities to go ahead in that Richmond game, but they just couldn't bury it. The frustration kind of combined itself into a very heated halftime break in that match. And then even last time out against Sarasota, they were up 2-0, but still had things they wanted to work on. Not necessarily as pleased, especially on the effort angle. But there comes Jackson Dietrich dislodging, couldn't get the return. And that last one off of Ibarra, this should return to Corpus Christi. Not quite a corner, but it will be a dead ball spot on a toss. Keep in mind in this half, Corpus Christi have the wind to their backs. Deep throw, still loose, in the box. Keegan couldn't get there. Bahena, the follow through, and will keep it with AV Alta. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. About a dozen minutes into the second half. Still zeros on the scoreboard. AV Alta want to extend their 8-game unbeaten run. If they can get another game with points, AV Alta, it would tie their mark from last year with 9, which they did accomplish actually right around the same time of the year, actually. They were at number 2 in USL League One at one point in mid-July, so we're about 2 weeks from that mark. What a ball, Desdu ahead, cuts back on Langlois. Backheeled, Ibarra, back for Desdu. Desdu gives it a try, took a clip and missed. It will draw a corner to Alta though, their first of the match. This was a nice back and forth with Jerry Desdu, and it might have took a clip off of Colin Anderson in the front of the goal, but it will get AV Alta to the corner flag for the first time this match. Down low, swept out. Abeal clears. We have Godwin, Antwi, and Alexis Cerritos getting ready. What would be the second sub for AV Alta and the first for Ayman Zayed. Miguel Ibarra operates far side, curls across and just outside of the post. This is where the changes will be made, but we take a look back at that last chance by Miguel Ibarra. Nice bit of curl, just couldn't get it inside of that far post. As Ibarra is looking for his first goal contribution since August of 2023. And this will be the opportunity for both coaches to get their respective changes in. Alexis Cerritos, he is closing in on 100 total matches in USL League One. 25-year-old from North Dakota, also a native of El Salvador. And Godwin Antwi, the Ghanaian, another rookie from the University of San Diego, two-year teammates with his fellow midfielder Cesar Bahena. Colin Anderson and Jackson Dietrich, the ones to respectively exit. Keep in mind for the second half, because of conditions, it's still a steamy 84-degree day. But you also have the added element of the wind going in this half to AV Alta's back. It's going to go against. There's going to be AV Alta's face and Corpus Christi's back, pardon. Served across, headed down. Bowen still loose, cleared out by Ceja. Medina rises, as does Bahena. Retreated back towards Roscoe. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. I'm sure there are a couple of great seats and probably pricey ones, especially in the soccer realm within Texas and California, over in Los Angeles Stadium and the respective Dallas and Houston stadiums. Making his first couple touches as he cycles back with Christian Ortiz. Over an hour in, still 0-0 between Corpus Christi FC and AV Alta FC. AV Alta looking to extend their unbeaten run to 9. Corpus Christi looking to build on 3 consecutive wins. Ryan Lee and the rest of our ESPN Plus crew, thank you for joining us here in the heart of Texas, where there have been plenty of chances on both sides, but neither have been able to reach the back of the net yet. Adam Almesh cutting through, beats out contact, as it forces Corpus Christi to jar it out of play to a throw to Alta. Cycled around, Antwi hesitates. Retreats with Villalobos and Pelivanov. Patrick Langlois gets it free. Alexis Cerritos down the line. Cerritos back inside, waiting for help. Keegan. Bowen. Langlois, the late arrival. Langlois Heads it, just missed was Keegan. Keegan has had eyes for net all game long. He had a volley that was blocked, and that last header served on a platter by Langlois. But just wide of the post once again. That's at least 3 chances that Corpus Christi have had, just barely pushed one way or the other. And despite Alta having a vast majority of the possession at 70%, AV Alta are getting outshot by Corpus Christi. For Corpus Christi, that will be marked as their second shot attempt of the half. Almesh lifts it for Antwi. Centered for Ibarra. Tangled but got free. And a quick transition for Corpus Christi. Nacho Abayal. As Keegan in the center, Cerritos to follow. Abayal leads it. Keegan drops it. Ibarra got there in time. Still Keegan, stopped by Smith. What a save by Denzel Smith. The Trinidad and Tobago international has been absolutely working, especially since about the 35-minute mark. He is dead at 500 in terms of the win-losses in his USL League One career, 6-6-9. And maybe trying to add to that win column to push AV Alta into a top 3 tie with the Independents. Abeal for Langlois, keeps it in. Langlois to the middle, well short of Cerritos. Turnover, Keegan for Abeal, but he mishits it. This was back and forth. You had Keegan, he couldn't get to Cerritos, but then Keegan again was able to get that right off the palm of Smith. Begin your path with the pros with the Corpus Christi Academy. Kids ages 5 to 18 can start building their technical soccer skills, work with a team, and compete with the best in the state. Head to ccfcacademy.com to register for the upcoming season. First year in USL League One for Corpus Christi, second for AV Alta. AV Alta got on a similar run that they're in right now in the 2025 campaign. However, they fell off an absolute cliff after getting to the number 2 seed in mid-July, where they had 1 win in their final 16 games. 1-7-8 in the 16 games following on July 19th, and from then on, it was a slow but consistent downfall for AV Alta, just outside of the top 8, where they eventually were 1 point shy of the playoff line. They hope to not only get that 9th straight unbeaten, but maybe to build upward on it instead of sliding back from it. That would be a much different story, especially for AV Alta, who have consistently been amongst the youngest teams in all the league in the 2 years they have been around. Especially with Brian Clavin's overall background. Just overall in coaching for about the last decade and a half, predominantly on development sides, a lot of academy programs. His last job before this one was part of the LAFC Academy program. So developing from within and starting these guys off young, it has been a large portion of the formula. got met. And Alfredo Ortiz will give it back to AV Alta. The training room is the physical therapy and performance partner of Corpus Christi FC, providing the resources and experienced staff to improve performance, prevent injuries, and get athletes match ready. Visit the training room at one of their 3 locations. Antwi for Bahena. Advantage played. Christian Ortiz up the gut. He's blocked. Antwi again on the outside. He serves it. That one off Medina. Still makes his way to Almesh. Ibarra. Antwi. Christian Ortiz up the middle. Outside for Ibarra. Ibarra curls it. The header is missed. Nice attempt in the middle by Jerry Desdune to get the header, at least in the direction of frame. The top chance creator trying to improve on his 4-goal mark, which is already tying a career high for Desdune. Quite a bit of a run himself with 7 goal contributions in the last 7 matches. But still looking for the first one in the final 20 minutes, a place where AV Alta have excelled. Their last 4 goals have all been after the 7th, including 2 game-winning goals against Spokane and against Greenville. Maybe another one here as Bahena took contact from behind. They let it fly. Deep ball the other way, too far for Cerritos. Whether you're looking to get in shape, recover, or stay active, the Corpus Christi Athletic Club has everything you need. From fitness classes to aquatics to cryotherapy, the Athletic Club is where you can find it all. Visit them on Holly Road or CorpusChristiAthleticClub.com to get your membership today. Corpus Christi Athletic Club, live happy. Another stoppage in play as things will be blown down by our head official, Elton Garcia. And as we are just barely shy of the half-an-hour mark of the second half, this is where we take our respective hydration break. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere. We're gonna stay here the entire time. But a whole host of chances for both teams. 17 total shot attempts between the 2 teams, but it's actually been in Corpus Christi's favor. You wouldn't know it by seeing it, but they actually are even in terms of the shots on target, 3 apiece, and that actually speaks a lot to the credit of both respective keepers. Between Denzel Smith, everything he's been through in USL League One, how he got his start, kind of taking the job away last year towards the tail end of the season, especially with what he did in the Open Cup, and really slowly making those incremental steps just to show his worth so often. How he really seemed like the very clear #1 in this AV Alta side, but has been in a bit of a back and forth with Jabril Doumbia for the last month or so, and once Doumbia got injured, it really leads the way for Denzel Smith. And AV Alta, knowing how young they want to go, they have brought in a couple of academy players on this starting in the roster at least, and that's if you include their bench. The backup is the 19-year-old Marco Gonzalez, who's yet to make his pro debut, and Santiago Higareda, who scored that absolute banger as one of the youngest goal scorers in League One history, scoring in his home debut against New York Cosmos back in the end of May. And then you have Corpus Christi. They just found something all of a sudden, this organic confidence and belief that they can do it, they can hang with everyone. And even Eamon Zayed saying that this game is a big measuring stick for their squad. Seeing how they can hold up against a top 4 team in the league. How does that go in the future when they play Charlotte a week from today? They even have a couple of games of quote-unquote weaker opponents where they have 3 teams on the horizon that are under 13th place, with Chattanooga, the New York Cosmos, and Greenville Triumph. Maybe a chance to build and escalate up the standings. But of course, full respect goes to all opponents and their respective strengths. Especially for an AV Alta side that, especially for a Corpus Christi side, pardon, that have yet to find any wins at home. They just finally did so. Finally did so back on this pitch a few weeks back. And once they start getting on these road stretches towards the tail end of the season, can they get as productive as well? Roscoe takes down his man. That's Adam Almesh again. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Quick corner for AV Alta, only their second of the match, compared to Corpus Christi's 4 in the first half, but they have yet to generate 1 in this half. Short down low for Ortiz. He does have Antwi, who had the original service. That's where he goes. To the center, Dasdoun. Sidesteps, returns. Villalobos from distance and just missed again. This is an AV Alta side who are amongst the top of the league, at least in shots outside of the box. They'll take those chances from deep, but in doing so, you have to acknowledge those are low percentage shots more often than not. And it's unsure whether or not Talbot would have gotten there if it was within frame, but regardless, it will be a goal kick back to Corpus Christi. Final dozen minutes in regulation. These are two teams who excel in late game scenarios. The last 4 goals for AV Alta were after the 70th. And of the 11 second half goals that Corpus Christi have managed to get, half of those were beyond the 80th. They even got a stoppage time sweetener at the end of the Sarasota match too, so don't count out the possibility of a stoppage time game winner, especially with Corpus Christi. They had one go against them in a draw versus Knoxville. They had 2 of them go in their favor in the win against Portland Hearts Pine. Even their goal against Richmond was within the last 15-20 minutes, so these endgame scenarios is where these two can absolutely pull it off. Still a little surprised we haven't seen any other changes aside from the one injury change for Nick Relaford and the coincidental single change with Cerritos and Antwi. Final dozen minutes, AV Alta on Corpus Christi. Christian Ortiz hustles back for Godwin Antwi. AV Alta next time out will be a week from today, where they go to Union Omaha. Only 4 points back are AV Alta, so regardless of how points shake out tonight, they'll be within a single game of Omaha. As that gets whistled down again by head official Elton Garcia, Tiffany Turpin, Jennifer Gardner, and Jacobo Zuninga are our crew. It's not that Jennifer Gardner, but the crew has been really letting things fly today's match. Probably to their credit. Ortiz taken down near the center circle. Alta want to go quick, but they want to allow Eamon Zayed the chance to change. It will be Kaheem Thomas to go into the match, who will replace Nacho Abayal. So Abayal won't get the chance to potentially match the league lead in assists, but you do get a chance to bring in Kaheem Thomas. Spent the last 3 seasons in the first division of Trinidad and Tobago, his native country, and did get his first USL League One goal last time out against Sarasota Paradise. He only played about 5 or 6 minutes prior to stoppage time and scored it within stoppage time to just sweeten the deal. The final goal in the 4-1 win against the Paradise. And that was too far ahead of Godwin Antwi. Cerritos taking contact. Thomas settles it down, takes a try, but it is held on by Smith. Just simply going end to end at this rate. Corpus Christi take it back. Godwin Antwi up the gut, slides it back. Desdu, Ibarra curls it too high, out the other end for AV Alta. But tossed by Alta. Christian Ortiz lifts it up. Almesh couldn't reach it. Thomas takes it back. Langwa. Eyes for the deep ball. Alexis Cerritos on the double team. Couldn't get past Thomas to support. Cerritos had the assist on Thomas's goal last time out. Kwakwa comes in. But Antwi successfully steals it back before he's coughed it up again. Sharks on the hunt. Langwa blocked off. Ortiz got in front of Bowen. Adam Almesh sliding through contact. Across the center circle for Christian Ortiz. Antwi weighs his options, retreats back. Bahena back for Almesh. Good takeaway from Bowen. He gets tripped down, yellow card, Adam Almesh. It's been very chippy between these two, especially because they've allowed some things to go, and perhaps too much so. Shannon Gomez getting in there and trying to stand up for his teammate. This was that nice steal by Bowen. He got through Almish and Antwi, and then Almish takes the trip. And we'll be having 2 changes, seemingly. You got Almish for Almish, Elias in for his brother Adam. And then Cesar Bahena will be replaced by Santiago Higuereta. Both of whom have not seen a whole lot of action. For both of them, only 5 regular season matches in their first respective seasons with the AV Alta first team. But for Elias Almesh, a lot of his work has been done in the Prince Tires USL Cup, where he has 2 goals against each of their USL Championship opponents, between the game winner against Orange County last time out, and Santiago Higuereta got his first goal about a month ago against New York Cosmos, the 4th youngest goal scorer in USL League One history. For the 17-year-old Higuereta, turns 18 in September. Smith, 8 contact, Keegan lobs it to goal, and we got guys down on both ends of the pitch. This was the last bit of contact. Smith comes up and oh, he just ate all of that. Smith was aiming for the ball, and it might be the same for, hard to see what that is, who that is. You had Smith trying to make those aggressive plays on the ball. It's something that he's been very well known to do, just being aggressive, especially when the ball gets elevated towards the top of the box, going for them, making sure it gets punched away. He's eaten that contact earlier. It's the reason why Nick Relaford is no longer in this game, got substituted out back in the 51st minute. And now you have this one too with Denzel Smith. AV Alta already down a keeper with Jabril Doumbia going out against Greenville, where Smith was the respective replacement. And then if Brian Claben goes in this direction, he does have 1 substitute available. He's used up 4 of them so far. It would be Marco Gonzalez, a 19-year-old academy product who has not played in USL League One. And then you have, that looks like Jack Keeney getting back up on his feet, or Sam Roscoe, pardon. That's Sam Roscoe getting up on his feet. So experienced in the back is Sam Roscoe. Over 230 matches in his pro career at the club level. Starting off his first decade as a pro overseas in Europe. More specifically in the UK, between Northern Ireland, Scotland, and England. Roscoe's on his feet. Smith's on his feet. No substitutions made. But of course, a lot of ire towards the officiating crew, because maybe they've let a couple extra things have gone, perhaps. Goal kick towards Smith. Langlois had it stolen back. Medina gets dropped. A chance to reverse for AV Alta. Towards the outside, Higuereta interrupted by Keeney. You still have a Corpus Christi man down right around the 15-yard line. 7 extra minutes on the board. Villalobos to pivot. Outlets, Christian Ortiz cleared out by Corpus Christi. It's a foot race. Cerritos ahead of Pelovanov. Cerritos comes back, awaiting help. Cerritos got dropped, no whistle. Ortiz, Higuereta. Desdune across center. Elias Almesh couldn't get through Keegan. Good to see everyone back up and running. Blake Bowen gliding through. Outside, Bubu Medina. Wants to return for Bowen. Villalobos the contact. That's Corpus Christi's first corner of the second half. All corners brought to you by Corpus Christi Athletic Club. Live happy. First of the second half, 5th of the game. 2 minutes in of stoppage time of 7. Bowen across, slapped out by Denzel Smith. It'll stay with Corpus Christi on a toss. Keeney out of the box, back in, stuck in the feet of Almesh. The chance by Medina gets blocked. And eventually Alfredo Ortiz will do some cleanup, but it goes back to Corpus Christi. Too high for Roscoe. Thomas back for Keeney. Served back in, only white jerseys in the way. Keegan retreats. Eamon Zayed said these late game scenarios are what build the team's character. And how the best teams by the end of the season are the ones who can excel in these late game scenarios, either stealing points or claiming them back. Maybe a chance at the first goal of the game, but if we stay here, both respective unbeaten runs will stretch. Corpus Christi, 3 straight wins. AV Alta, 8 straight unbeaten. Their franchise record, Alta, is 9 from last year. They could tie it unless Corpus Christi can serve something up late. Alfredo Ortiz watches it, bounce out of play. Corpus Christi's total have now ballooned up to 13 attempts, but only managed 4 on target as we are just past halfway through stoppage. Keegan leaves it for Medina. He's got Thomas outside. Thomas stutters, dislodged by Villalobos. Sent away before it's recovered. Shannon Gomez is the man back. 4.5 through of 7. Short of Thomas. Elias Almesh. Antwi through center. Five minutes in of 7. Looking for the game's first goal. rolls back to James Talbot. Bowen in pursuit of Pelavanov. Goal kick for Smith. Final 90 seconds, unless we stay scoreless. Although they had that stunning 3-0 loss to Madison, Corpus Christi have been on a nice run, 3-1-2 in the last 6. Almish gallops by, Des Doom back for Almish, Elias Almish gets clipped, offside, doesn't matter. But return serve to the Sharks. Both teams have dealt with a pair of 0-0 draws so far this year. AV Alta have the second most clean sheets in the league, only behind one Knoxville, who have 6 to AV Alta's 5. Corpus Christi do have 3 to this point of the season, could be en route to 4, depending on what happens in this final 30 seconds. Shannon Gomez couldn't escape a double team. Back for Ibarra. Across for Villalobos. Gets it back from Des Dude. Elias Almish. Almish cuts it back. Couldn't keep it on his feet. Paddy Langlois with room, as all sorts of congestion is back in Corpus Christi's box. Smith settles down for Seha, as Cerritos was offside. And that will be it. The unbeaten runs will continue for Corpus Christi, 4 straight. And for AV Alta, they match their franchise record, 9 straight unbeaten. 0-0 after 90 plus. You know it's an exhausting match when everyone on the pitch, as soon as that final whistle blew, they just collapsed down on the turf. You can see the fatigue of both of these teams, how scrappy they play, the physicality, the collisions involved. But it ends where we began, and we still have more going on. Shannon Gomez was getting a little bit heated, especially with he and Colin Anderson battling all night. Now we got more going on in the middle. That's Enoch Kwakwa getting there as well. Eamon Zayad trying to be the cooler head. Ironic considering that Eamon Zayad has had his relatively heated moments on the sideline. And with how chippy and feisty this match has been, it wouldn't be surprising if this could transpire to something more. These two will play one more time in 2026 on December 24th, which will be decision day. If major points are on the line, potential playoff spots, potential playoff seedings, maybe for the intents and purposes of AV Alta hosting. Who knows how that could play out? But at the very least, in this match, to start off match week 17 of USL League One action, it ends scoreless through 90 plus. Well, it's the game that keeps on giving, and the end never truly has come. Even though it is 0-0, things have continued to burst here in Corpus Christi. We'll wrap things up at Campus Athletic Complex when we come back.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures. Listen to Mom.
I love that they always have openings. They're always, available. You can come in usually the same day. So I'm glad that they have that. And like I said, the location's great, so it's convenient. I like that.
Open till 9 p.m. weekdays and 7 p.m. weekends. We are a pediatric primary care and urgent care facility for children. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures.
Corpus Christi has brought professional soccer to the Coastal Bend. A team you can be proud of, rally around, and celebrate with. Come see the goal celebrations, the passion, and the high intensity.
Line out front, hammered from the spot, and the save again by Talbot. Strikes. What a goal!
For 18 high-energy home matches, come show the nation Corpus Christi has the best fans. Tickets are on sale now for every match at corpuscfc.com.
We're ready to wrap things up here in Corpus Christi, where the Sharks and AV Alta were scoreless after 90 plus, but what a match it was, considering that this could be the start of something greater, especially that top corner, and that's where things end through 90 minutes of play. Well, AV Alta might have had more of the ball, but it was Corpus Christi who were able to do much more with it. And for Corpus Christi and AV Alta, at the very least, their respective unbeaten runs will continue. For the intents and purposes of AV Alta, they are within 3 points of Union Omaha, and they play each other a week from today. For Corpus Christi, still a chance to get within the top 8. Only 5 points away from 8th as we stand. That was a crazy one over in Corpus Christi. Had everything you could have possibly wanted. High-flying attack, crazy chances, physicality, but no goals on either side when it's all said and done. That'll do it for all of us here in Corpus Christi. For our entire USL League One and ESPN Plus crew, I'm Ryan Lee. Have a great rest of your night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.